Presented by football.com. Let's get into it.
Man United, your time there. How do you reflect on your time at Man United? Did you enjoy your time there?
I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah. I loved my time there.
I remember when I met you first, when we done the interview there that time, I could see that spark, that energy. You look like I can't wait to get going. I'm happy to be here.
Of course. I was so proud of going there. And I was even prouder probably when a couple of years later I went back to Old Trafford as a Sky commentator. I think I went with Roy Keane, if I'm not, or Graham Souness, or both. And when I felt the reaction of the crowd to myself, I was like, wow. I always felt we were together in the time I've been there, but to have that reaction touched me. I love the time to be there. You know, if you know better than me. You know better than me the club, the history, everything. For a coach to be a coach in the same club of Sir Alex, even if it was not immediately after, you have to feel it. You have to feel it. You have to feel, especially the pride, also the responsibility, and I felt it. And then historical club, legendary players. I was very, very happy, very, very proud to be there. Not easy. I don't think media helped me. I don't think media had, including yourself, maybe. I don't remember specific cases, but I felt that was not with an intention of hurting. I think was more that people didn't understand the dimension of the job and the potential difficulties, and also the fact that the coach was quite in a hybrid position, if hybrid is a correct word in English, I don't know. Hybrid. Because in the years before, everything was very, very clear. Of course, ownership, but of course, Sir Alex and Mr. David Gill. Then was changing, and then the structure was not a very fluid structure. When people criticize his Ed Woodward job, I don't like because for me he's a good man, was just a man that probably was not like a fish in the water. Very intelligent, very polite, very correct, but probably not prepared for the sport side, of it. Was quite hybrid. For a coach not to have a direct communication with the ownership, and for a coach not to have a structure that shares the same principles and the same ideas was not easy, with consequences at many levels. But I did my best. I told in some interview, and I was killed by that, that the second position was one of my biggest achievements.
I think you was people questioned what you were saying there. I was one of them. I was like, he's won the treble
because
twice.
You won,
we didn't know the background.
You won 10 Premier Leagues.
No, but we didn't know the background. That's why we didn't know what you're talking about now. The structure of the club wasn't the way it maybe should have been for you to be successful or more successful. And with not knowing the backstory, that's why the question marks are like, what's Jose talking about? But now years to come, you're right.
And maybe there is a chance of we win that league, no?
Yeah.
No, because if Man City is catched in financial fair play,
I'm hoping
in financial fair play breaking the rules.
I'll have two more Premier Leagues.
Maybe they lose a few points and maybe win that title. But joke apart, we did the best we could do. And
do you still believe that? Yeah, that it's the best.
Of course, I believe, and nobody did better.
Yeah, yeah.
And they.
No, I'm saying, do you still believe that it's like that's the best achievement I've had?
Not the best achievement, because I always feel that the best achievement is when you bring the cup and you go home, or with a cup, or with a medal. But was a hell of a job, you know. In the first season, to win Europa League was great. To qualify for Champions League was great too. If you remember your Man United, or one of your Man Uniteds, and you look at the team that played that European final with me, if you want to make a joke, you make a joke. Romero, Valencia, Daley Blind, Chris Smalling, Darmian, Herrera, Pogba, Fellaini, Juan Mata, Marcus Rashford e Mkhitaryan. Do you want to say Rio, Vidic, Rooney, Ronaldo, Van der Sar, Paul Scholes? You know, you want to go? We can go. So we did it great. We did the second position. Then the third position. Then the third season, we lost a few matches, and we lost the derby against Liverpool. I don't know, 2-1, 3-1. We lost my last match, and at that time, the club decided to change, and they did. And how many years after? I love the club. I love the fans. I hope that everything goes. I hope that everything goes well. I'm waiting for Man United to, as soon as possible, to become your Man United, the Man United that made the love, fall in love with them.
Your point, you made
the third season, when it started to go wrong, what was you looking for in the summer transfer window? Because I don't think, with all respect to Lee Grant, to Delo, to Fred, I don't think that was going to close the gap on 19 points from Manchester City.
You know, I always feel everywhere. Before you buy new furniture, you need to clean the house. So I was more about cleaning the house than buying new furniture. And we didn't clean it the way I wanted. I wanted to clean from the second season, and we couldn't, for different reasons. We couldn't. I cannot say that I was asking for A, B, C, or D in the third season because was not right. I just knew, because was the third season. I knew clearly what I didn't want there, in terms of the individuals, in terms of the profiles. I knew clearly what I didn't want. But didn't happen, and sometimes in football you have to accept that. I accepted that, and I tried my best. I knew exactly the deep problems that we had there, and in the third season, the manifestation of these problems were more clear.
You spoke about the structure of the club, and hopefully now there's a group of Ineos have come into Man United now, hoping now that they fix things and they see maybe some of the issues that you saw. What would you think would be some of the first things they need to do to kind of get it right?
I am nobody to say it, and the club and the club after when I left 5 years ago, probably. For sure, lots of things changed. For sure. Honestly, I believe that Richard Arnold had to change something for better. Because I always thought a proper guy, and a guy with a certain feeling of sport, because he was not a football man but a sportsman with a good understanding of what sport is. I liked him very, very much, even when he was in the commercial role in my time. So for sure they improve, and I think now. Ineos and Sir Ratcliffe, I know him well. I know him very well. We had a good relation from years ago. You know, I have a very good feeling. He's also a sportsman. He loves it, which I think is a very important thing. He comes with experience from other experiences, smaller clubs, other sports, cycling. You know, I have a good feeling that things can go in the right direction, and I hope so. Honestly, I hope so.
You mentioned the team that we won the Europa League with didn't quite match up to the teams that we had during Rio's time. My belief, so I'm not putting this on you, my belief is that if you'd have joined the club immediately following Sir Alex Ferguson, I think you had the sway, and I think with that team, Giggs, Scholes, an older Rio, an older Vidic, I think we'd have won another title.
It's too easy to say it, you know. It's too easy for me now to say, oh. You cannot say it. Cannot say it. You know, was David after, no?
Yeah.
You know, I have just to respect David, and for sure he did his best.